Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Castell is an odd game that plays kind of oddly. It doesn't remind me of any one game, but puts a lot of pieces together of a lot of different games. And I guess it's based on a real event of where people would stack each other for fairs or for fun or for celebration, I guess. It's just very, very odd. I'd never heard of this, but apparently it's a thing. This game gives you a lot of long-term consequences. When you're making a decision, there is always multiple things that are available to you, each one with a different long-term consequence and benefit to it. I think that's where the game really shines. You're going to be getting people, and you'll be adding them to your show. You need higher numbers on the bottom, lower numbers on the top. It makes sense. And you'll be going to these shows and putting on these performances as you go to score victory points. Seems very straightforward, and I suppose that it is, but it's unlike any other game that you're going to play. This game is going to be a brain burner. It's going to give you very interesting decisions, and it's going to be something I think that will build upon itself, and the more plays that you have, I think you're really going to enjoy this. It does have a really good rule set. I think the rules are very clear and very easy. I like the artwork in this game. I think it's going to be very appealing to people. I think if you pull this out with non-gamers and you start explaining the history of what is going on in this game, what is this theme, what are we doing, I think it's a fascinating conversation piece too. So Castell is one that I've really, really enjoyed, one I can easily recommend to you, and it's going to really scratch that itch of a light Euro game, but that's something a little different, something a little bit off the beaten path, and I find that to be very interesting. So I'm surprised this one wasn't more of a winner or something you hear more about. On the flip side, there is some oddities to it that probably puts it off on a lot of people, but Castell is a very good game and one you may have missed. Keeper for us. Here's Castell. What you can see is my Renegade Games. It's a very attractive box cover art here with the people climbing on top of each other. You're going to get a gigantic bag. This thing is humongous. The biggest and probably the nicest bag that I've ever seen. You're going to get a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. It did come with some baggies in here, which is nice. You're going to get a little summary here. I'll tell you about what you do on a turn and the skill references on the back. This is all very nice. You're going to get your player boards. There'll be 4 of these. And this is mostly used to tell you the strength of items over here and the different regions for scoring purposes. First player marker, and then you're going to get a board. The board is going to full out. Now, when you first get the board, you are required to put the spinner on it. The spinner spins nice. It's a little loose here, but it's fine. It would have been nice to have something a little bit better. I've seen that Magneto one in Coloma would have worked nice for this. Then you're going to get a nice insert inside here. Pretty much this is how I set it up. Your little markers and down here, these are really cool people going up. And you get stars for this. The rest of this is going to be tiles and the people. So I'll show you the most drastic. The 10 is the strongest and the 1 is the smallest. But you can see the size of them are different because that's going to be important in gameplay. These are very thick and you can see the artwork on them is very good. You have these little tiles here that you'll utilize for some of the festivals, etc. These will be randomized each time. And then these right here will be placed out on the board, and they fit in very nice. So everything's very good, has a place that you can put it back in here. Excellent job. Here's a rulebook for Castell, picture from the front. You're going to get a little bit of an overview of the tradition of what's going on in this game and a picture of all of the components. Fantastic. Then set up with numbers and letters corresponding where everything goes. This is excellent. Makes it really easy to set up and play. They're going to have a little bit of a round structure here. This will be right through this. And then down here, I'll tell you about building the towers. There's 3 established rules for the towers. And then you break into how you break those rules by upgrading your abilities that you're going to have in the game and how to score a little bit. It's a little bit wonky as you go through here, but you see it's full colored. Everything in these italics down here is examples with pictures of the examples, so it works very good. I should point out there aren't any new rules in the example. The rules are clearly printed with the examples reinforcing the rule, which I like better. Then you have the end of game and scoring and some credits down here at the back. And the back has nothing. A round summary would have been nice here. I don't know why they left it blank, but they did. The rulebook is really good. You probably need 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour to get through it, depending on how quickly you can pick up some of the scoring rules. It's a breeze of a game. Most of your decisions come not from the rules being overwrought, but by having good decisions to make during the game, and that's going to be exciting. Let's go do a quick overview of the game. So you're going to have a round marker that will come out here. Now, at 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, you will put out more people on the board. So each of these locations we'll have 3 people that are placed out on the board, so they'll be full up. And they're only replenished when you get to these markers right here that showcase. So you'll have 3 in each location. I'm just kind of showing you how the game might play. So on a turn, you can do 4 things on your turn. First thing you do is if you're in a location, you can move to an adjacent location. Either it has a dotted line or it's connection. So moving is one thing that you can do, or one of the 4 things that you will do. On your turn, then you can choose 2 of the people at the location, either ones you want, and you can take those people, and they kind of go into your supply. The third thing you do is look over here. I'm in Villafranca, so I look at Villafranca. I could upgrade balance, and what that's going to do on my player board is allow me to upgrade that ability. So everybody's going to have a player board like this, and when I get an ability, let's say I was able to upgrade this one, I would put it here. If I go up here, I would go to 2, 3, 4, or a maximum of 5. So you can have quite a few of these over here, and they kind of move up. You know how many times you can utilize this additional power. And there's 5 or 6 different one of these that'll be activated over here. There's always one that says all regions, so you can do whatever is there. So this time, no matter what region I could balance, but if I'm in Villafranca, then I could do balance also. If it was like this, perhaps I could do the mix here, or all regions could do an extra special action. So you will upgrade that based on your player board. Then you have a special action. You're going to start the game out with a number of these, which you can spin these to take an action on your turn. The actions you can do is you could just move a spot. I could spin one of these and move to an adjacent location. Or I could use this to take 1, not 2, 1 more person if there's somebody I really wanted. Or I could fulfill one of these things over here. So I'm in Villafranca, so I could do the one that's in Villafranca. And then you would be able to build a tower of people that meets this requirement. It has to be at least 3 levels tall, and it has to meet this requirement of 5, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, etc. And you look at this, some of these will tell you to have your upgrades. This one has to be upgraded twice, this one has to be upgraded once, and you have to be able to build a tower. So you have to utilize these powers within your building structure. If you're able to gain one of these, you will put you'll be able to take whatever's here. So let's say I'm in Villafranca, I did this one, I would take this tile. I could take this, I put it on the region Villafranca, and that will say, hey, I did something there. And I'd put one of my special action tokens out here that someone could claim in the future. So those are the 4 actions that you can do. When you get to these spots in the rounds, at the end you can perform festivals. And what you're looking to do when you build a festival, this one, for example, you would have to be in Barcelona. If you're not in Barcelona, you may not participate. But let's say I am there. Then I could build a tower as long as I have, in this case, a number 10 person to put in it. If we were on round 5, I'd have to be in Mataro, because this says that here, and I would have to have a tower that can utilize both 3s and 4s. And I would build that tower, and whoever can build the most is going to earn these ribbons in order to score victory points at the end of the game. Then you'll be able to claim these also if you had the most 3s or most 4s in that column of people, and you would put it, once again, on your region board saying, hey, I did something in Mataro. So when the game starts out, the width of a group of people you can have is 3. This would be the maximum. Now you can upgrade that as the game goes on, upgrade your abilities. There's one called width that would allow you to have 4 on a base. But let me kind of show you how this works. Then whatever you have on top of it would have to be fewer people, but also a lower number. Think about that as weight. So something like this could be okay because it's got 3 10s on the bottom, a 2, and a 1. But there's also abilities that will allow you to put an equal number on top called balance. And that will allow you to have something like this. And then if you wanted to throw it, because you have to have level 4, you will throw a 1 on top there. And that's kind of how that's going to occur. So you'll be building these. And as you upgrade these abilities that I've been showing you, these little things, so this one allows you to go 4. So now I could have a 4th person if I had it and put it on there. If I had this, then 2 rows. I would be able to do all the way to 5 on all of the rows if I wanted to. If you had something like this, let's say this one, I could put 2 of these in the same row as long as they are the same size. So if I had a 7, 7 and 8s are the same size, I'd be able to squeeze a 7 on there because I could do a mix match. So I don't want to show you all of these. I think it's too much right now. But just utilize it as you upgrade these powers. you're able to make bigger and bigger cycles of people using whoever you have. So you need to be very strategic about which people you pick up, how they fit into your strategies, and how they're going to fit into the strategies of the festivals that are scoring and the local performances. So you want to kind of balance all that as you're going. Now, when you build something and you score it, you get to keep all these people. They're not going away, but you'll be able to utilize them in different combinations in order to increase your scoring. Whoever has the most points after 10 rounds is the winner of the game. Who should buy this game? Anybody who likes a light Euro game. I remember a game called Drumroll was about a circus. I think this kind of being the same kind of fitting there, where it has an interesting, odd theme you don't see all the time. This is not repeated all the time. Gives you interesting, hard decisions, and it plays, 4 players. I think it plays just fine, and it's going to be something. Is it something that's going to be lasting with you forever? Probably not. That's probably why more people don't talk about it. But talk about a solid game right here. It is Castell, and I think this is a hidden gem that you've probably missed out on. Keeper for us.